Hi everyone, and welcome to last week of the Who Would Wins. Um, last week of the Who Would Wins, last Who Would Win of the week, I should say. It's still Sunday, so I've got another 48 minutes before it's officially not Sunday, so I'm cranking it out. This comes to us from Zion Z, and if I was going to close it out, and especially because I missed 2 days, I wanted to close it out on a fairly substantial episode. So Ichgo versus Naruto coming from Zion Z. Now, if you were to ask me which I like more, I like both Bleach and Naruto very much. I agree with everyone that Bleach's ending was so rushed, and it suffered because of that. I do wish they would. I mean, there's no guarantee they won't bring the series back, at least to finish out the series in that arc. But I wish they would bring that anime back. And Naruto, I thought they handled fairly competently. I mean, don't get me wrong, there were plot points that got weird throughout the arc, but I think like the last part of the arc, like literally once they defeated Kaguya and then the whole Sasuke and Naruto fight, I thought the Naruto Sasuke fight was handled fabulously. Fabulously. Then they did the time skip episode or chapter, which they always do. Um, so I thought they handled that actually very well. But if you're asking which one I like better, I'm a Bleach guy. I like Bleach a lot better. The reason I'm saying this is because I'm not going to name names. I could literally go on right now and check who it is. There was someone who was commenting on my Madara versus Aizen video, accusing me of being a fanboy for Naruto just because I was giving Madara a lot of leeway. And I'm going to keep it that. I'm not going to say which way I really went with in that fight, but I will admit, I was giving Madara some leeway in the fight for certain reasons. And they just kept going on and rants, or I was wrong, and I think I responded to one comment because eventually it just became an obsession with that person. So yeah, I like Bleach more, honestly. And in hindsight, looking back on that, I think I gave Madara at least because I did it in two ways: base form for Aizen and Madara, and basically they're like their high tier forms. So I will admit I think I gave Madara a little too much leeway, at least in the base form fight. I'm not going to disagree, or I'm not going to change my mind though on their like god level forms. I think I called that one right in my opinion. But I digress. So Ichigo versus Naruto, now about 2.5 minutes in. So obviously now when doing this fight, we have to understand. Sorry, there's a moth distracting me. We have to understand which versions of these characters we're looking at, which them more or less at their peak. Now Naruto, I feel that's actually pretty easy. I feel that him right near the end of the last series, not Boruto, where he's actually Hokage, but before Naruto the last, basically when he's fighting Sasuke, that's him at his absolute peak because it's acknowledged that he's weaker in the Boruto series. He just because he doesn't have as much time to train anymore. Also, we don't see him accessing, as far as I know, his six paths power or like he used to. So I would say that, I mean, yeah, he's probably got more experience on his belt at that point, but I would say that it's Naruto during his fight with Sasuke at the end of the series that is the strongest version of Naruto. Ichigo, the problem with that is if we had got a real full showcase of his abilities during the Blood War arc, the final arc, I would say that's probably the strongest version of Ichigo. Problem is we didn't. We have no idea what his Bankai does. I mean, we can assume it's pretty much similar to what his original Bankai did, but the fact of the matter is he's combining two blades into one blade. When he combined them just in Shika, he's able to do multiple attacks. Like, he's got more than one version of the Getsuga at that point. So we have to assume he had maybe more than one attack in that, and probably has some other abilities to it. We just didn't get any information. It's like freaking Kubo was just like, yeah, I'm being rushed. God damn it, sorry guys. I know you actually want to know what Ichigo's Bankai actually does. So we can't use that version. But likewise, you don't have to say that a version of Ichigo that has his hollow abilities is theoretically his strongest. And as far as we know, he didn't have access to his hollow ability. I mean, if he had access, he didn't use it when he got his Shinigami powers back in the Fullbring arc, and then leading into the Blood War arc. So it's difficult to basically say where we place Ichigo's peak at this fight. So I'm going to cheat just a little bit in this. We're going to use blood. We're going to use Fullbring, newly restored Ichigo from the Fullbringer arc into the Blood War arc, with access to his hollow powers. I think that's the perfect blend of where we'd see Ichigo as peak. Because we can't necessarily use Ichigo when he was in the Dawn Guide and he learned the final Getsuga, because that's a cop-out kind of thing. And even then, I would argue he might not be able to beat Naruto at that. I mean, I could be wrong. He could, possibly, but we're not going to use that. I don't feel that's a fair fight, because that was a temp boost, too. There's no guarantee he would have kept that ability throughout the series. So that was like, if that was only a temporary thing, we'll have to use something that's consistent. Now that I've spent almost 6 minutes going over all that, let's break down this fight. Now I'm going to break this down a little differently. I'm going to break it down category by category. So in terms of personality, by the end of it, Naruto was a pretty serious guy. He was a quick thinker. He was very adaptable, able to adapt on the fly. But he's also goofy. And he's can be easily be taken off guard. Ichigo is definitely a more serious individual. It definitely keeps more focused, but he can also be flustered, especially if his confidence is something wavers his confidence. That will deeply affect his power. So, but that being said, I think I would give I think I would keep them even on the mental edge, because Naruto's a better on the fly combatant, able to just adapt more quickly. But Ichigo, when he's focused, is focused, and he's far more level-headed than Naruto is. And when it comes to strength, they're both equal, I think, in terms of strength. Simply because if you're and I'm not factoring in Jinchuriki, Nine-Tailed Fox chakra in this quite yet. I'll let you know when I factor that in. And I'd say Ichigo is just naturally stronger of the two, without any real modifications. And then when you make him a Shinigami, I think he is naturally stronger than Naruto. Add base Jinchuriki form, base Kyuubi form, which is that golden form we see, then I'd say they probably even out. And then if he were to go full Kyuubi, then Naruto probably outranks Ichigo in strength. Even honestly, with the visor mask, I say he outranks Ichigo in strength. Speed-wise, this is one people are probably going to get in my case about. I say Naruto's the faster of the two. I say this for several reasons. One, in the confines of his universe, Naruto was legitimately he's the fastest thing alive. He was literally Sonic the Hedgehog. He was the fastest thing. He was faster than his dad, who was faster than the Raikage, who could move literally at the speed of a lightning bolt. He was fast enough to dodge Madara's Light Fang, which I believe is more or less near light speed. It was a technique where he just fired a beam of light. That's light speed, and Naruto was able to dodge that in base form. You factor in his Sage and 6 chakra forms and all that, then yeah, he's probably, now that's reflex wise. Just pure speed wise, I'd still imagine that he's faster than Ichigo. Ichigo is still amazingly fast with Flash Step, and then when you add Bankai onto that, he was able to outpace Byakuya for a while, just newly used Bankai. But Ichigo's speed slowly became irrelevant because he was just going up against faster individuals. Now, you got to go by the parameters of the world, obviously, but Naruto's speed never actually really became relevant. He was always good at dodging, even before he got the boost to Kyuubi. He was always good at dodging. He's had very good reflexes. And if you don't talk speed clones, Naruto's got the Shadow Clone Jutsu that he can combine with that. You want to talk about a speed blitz, guess what? Those are clones moving at the exact same speed Naruto is that can actually physically hurt someone. All Ichigo's doing is after images. But that being said, Ichigo's capable of blocking a million cherry petal blades all at once. So while it's not super far off, I do give the edge to Naruto in terms of speed. Durability-wise, I would actually give the edge, though, to Ichigo. And I say this because Naruto's got a human body with a Jinchuriki in it. When he's using a Jinchuriki chakra, he's using the Nine-Tails chakra, he's got amazing durability. But that durability only lasts so long as he has the chakra to access. Same can be said to Ichigo, but Ichigo has just tanked higher-level stuff. I think the largest attack Naruto ever tanked in that form was when him and Sasuke's attacks clashed. But even then, he was in full Kyuubi form, so that's durability is hard to judge on that scale. I think I would give the edge to Ichigo just because if you've seen everything he's been through from his fight with Kenpachi to taking on Byakuya, being skewered, nearly being cut in half, bifurcated. having a whole blast through his chest and still coming out of that all relatively okay. I think I'd give it more to Ichigo, just because the level of attacks he's withstood and handled are greater overall. And then you have to go on actual martial skill. Naruto's got ninja training. He's got ninjutsu. He's good in hand-to-hand combat. Well, we'll get to ninjutsu in a little bit, but he's ninja tools, stealth. But Ichigo, honestly, first off, I think he's just a better hand-to-hand fighter. He's you need to make a poopy? Nope. Does the puppy need to make a poopy? Well, okay, I guess not. He's just, I think, the better hand-to-hand fighter, having been trained in martial arts all his life, and then having further experience with the Shinigami. I think he's just a slightly better tactician, even in straight-on tactician. Also, he's a highly proficient swordsman, whereas Naruto's not. Though the Boruto movie did show he's actually fairly capable with his sword, which is wondering why they never really gave him one. Probably because Sasuke had one, and that'd be like, no, he's copying Sasuke. Then they got to go to their special abilities. Obviously, Ichigo's got Flash Step, which gives him heightened speed. Really, his only ability is Getsuga Tensho, though. His visor mask that will increase all of his abilities, though, to umpteenth degree. Sorry. His Ryatsu is immense, severely immense, to the point where, the spiritual pressure can weigh down upon anyone. But Naruto, I'd argue Naruto's base form, even Jinchuriki base form, Kyuubi form, probably doesn't have as much chakra. And remember, chakra is made of spiritual and physical energy, so it is half spiritual Ryatsu energy. It's still probably not on the level of Ichigo, especially when he's using the visor mask. But if you go full Kyuubi, then no, I would say Naruto has more. If he's in full Kyuubi form, or even chakra form, sage chakra form, he's got more energy reserves than Ichigo. In terms of their abilities, again, Getsuga's the only thing Ichigo's got. Naruto's got the Rasengan combinations of all shapes and forms, including Rasen Shuriken, Planetary Rasengan, Mini Rasen Shuriken, Wind Style Rasengan. There was a couple other ones that I'm missing right off the top of my head. And of course, then we're using Sage Chakra. All his Rasengans take on the nature element. Sage Chakra. There's Sage Chakra. Sage Chakra. Oh man, I'm going all over the place. 6 Sage Chakra is what I meant to say. 6 Paths Chakra. He can utilize pretty much all the Jinchuriki's chakra elements, including Lava Release, Ink Release, which I don't really know what Ink Release would really do. Some sort of Lightning Release, I think, with the Seven Tails. Steam Release, Acid Release, and with Shikaku, he was able to use a Magnet Release, which is actually like a sealing kind of technique. And then combining them all with the Truth-Seeking Orbs, which can be formed into rods, bombs, floating platforms, he was able to create like a combination of all the elements, which were like explosive balls that can't be touched. Now, and of course, Kyuubi form, everything that goes with that. Sage form gives him heightened the Frogatas, which rests in sage energy that can't be sensed by normal individuals. And then Ichigo, obviously, if he were to be pushed far enough, he'd go into Vasta Lorde's form, his hollow form, which has heightened regeneration, powerful enough that just a swing of his sword just move the earth itself, durable enough to just grab and tank I can't remember Ukihora's technique, but the light javelin, which would basically if you looked at it in the anime and in the manga, had pretty much the power of a nuclear warhead. So he was able to tank basically a nuke in his bare hand without flinching. And then, of course, he can create Seros and has his own Getsuga Tensho as well. Extremely powerful. The only downside is he doesn't have as much control. He doesn't really have any control in that form. So, now that I've gone off this spiel long enough, who's going to win this fight? Well, the fight's going to break down like this. Let's say, in a hypothetical scenario, Ichigo shows up in the Naruto world, and something happens, their fight takes on. Naruto would be the first to engage. It would start off pretty simple. He would try to feel Ichigo out with Shadow Cone's hand-to-hand tactics. Ichigo would block most of them, probably get a hit. Naruto would get a hit in here or there, but Ichigo would just, bat him away with his sword. They'd probably have an exchange back and forth a little bit, but then all of a sudden he hears the sound of the Rasengan. Rasengan comes, he blocks with his sword, gets pushed back by the energy. Naruto's realizing he can't take this guy on in his base form, so he decides to go Sage mode. Comes in again. Ichigo blocks probably with the sword, but the energy from the Sage mode pushes him back, and he tries to avoid it. But again, he gets pushed back by the Sage mode, now having taken a graze. All of a sudden, he hears the sound of the Rasen Shuriken coming in, and he uses a Getsuga Tensho. Now, Base form Ichigo just not giving his all with the Getsuga Tensho, even as strong as it is. Well, no, for going by the Getsuga Tensho he used against Ginjo, I'd say they'd cancel each other out. Let's say they cancel each other out. Now Naruto's blitzing him in base form Kyuubi mode. And I'm trying to speed this up because Rick and Morty's season episode. I honestly would probably be in bed by now because I got work in the morning. But Rick and Morty's season opener is coming up in a little bit. So base form Naruto going. He starts blitzing Ichigo. Ichigo goes Bankai. And they're about even, but Ichigo is noticing that he's on the back pedal still. So he goes and gets a Tensho. He's trying to blitz Naruto. Naruto's throwing the Sengon combinations. Ichigo's slicing through him, getting a hit in. Naruto's getting a hit in. So it's back and forth. And Ichigo's, again, on the back foot a little bit. So now he goes full on, Hollow Mask. And now he's outpacing Naruto. Naruto's on the back end. He's got, back foot. He's got a cut on him. Goes full Kyuubi. And full Kyuubi versus Visor Ichigo, Hollow Mask Ichigo, they're colliding. Throws a Tail Beast ball at him. Ichigo goes full, gets a good Tensho to try to, maybe he's able to cut through that. Giant explosion. Ichigo gets pushed back. He's panting. His mask is deteriorating. Kyuubi is still standing strong, So Naruto's just like, okay, one more time, and then swipes the claw, and then Ichigo tries to block him, but now he finds he's just got a giant claw sticking into his chest, and now then hear that trademark anime noise of the heart beating, just boom, 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 and then the rest of Lourdes mask comes up, and you hear the now Lourdes Ichigo versus Kyuubi Naruto full fight. Who wins that fight? I'm going to be honest, it's going to be Lourdes Ichigo. It's not going to be by much, though, because the power of the Kyuubi is comparable, I think, to the Lourdes form that we saw in terms of just pure destructive power. But the thing is that he's such a small target now, and he has high speed regeneration and just pure power that he's going to start chopping off the Kyuubi's tails, chopping off his feet, and then a full Sero point blank in his face. He's not going to have enough time to throw a Tail Beast ball at him. So it's going to it's going to blast him back. Eventually, Naruto's going to revert back to his normal form, and then Lourdes Ichigo just takes out Naruto, decapitates him, whatever. Now, is it possible for the Kyuubi Naruto to defeat the Lourdes hollow form Ichigo? Yeah, I'd say it's possible, but not very likely, honestly. It's the only way I can see it is if he's about to fire, if Naruto fires, those giant Rasen shurikens, like he did, and one of them actually did hit Ichigo, or both of them hit Ichigo in that form, and maybe annihilated him. But even then, I don't know if they'd have enough power to do that. Because, again, Ichigo at that form would just be too fast, too powerful, and just too vicious for the Kyuubi to really handle at that point. So, yeah. Sorry, I got a trailer for Annabelle Creation. Yeah, I'll be honest, I have no interest in seeing that. So, anyway, I give this an Ichigo. Here's the thing: if Naruto is possibly able to put him down in base form, then Naruto's going to win the period. But the problem is, it's not going to come to base form because Ichigo's hollow will get in the way to protect him if it needs to. So we are going to we're going to say that that's not going to happen, and therefore Ichigo's going to take this about 75% of the time. There's an easy scenario where I think Naruto does win. Well, not easy. There's a scenario where Naruto wins, but I think the Ichigo winning is just more likely given everything that, just given the sheer power that comes from that form, and everything else that comes with that. So yeah, I think Ichigo takes it 3 out of 4 times. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. As always, if you want us to review something, put the comments below. Let us know. We'll do a review of it at some point. Ideas of who would win, Star Wars, superhero, what if, magic, anything I do in the channel, put the comments below. Let me know. I'll get to it at some point. Sorry, I already said that. Sorry, Rick and Morty just started. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you.